generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
This is a private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle.
And I dare say I don't like it at all. This is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. I...
Sir, I just need to check.
That's a bit excessive, I think, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
We know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madam Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
No, I need it immediately. Yes, I'll hold. Yes, I'm still here. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right. I'll double check and get back to you.
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
should get back to you.
Don't be stupid. Stop acting like
A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Madame Carlyle's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. There's no family without secrets, 47. But this family seemed to outdo most.
love with someone you are.
I should
put a pin
maybe
in
get
it.
back to
Yeah.
you.
Sorry.
Did the portrait photographer check out? You verified his identity?
Everything's in order.
Just remembered I went for a stroll behind the greenhouse last night. Maybe that's where it is. Why not find it? What do you think might be great?
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Life can be tough sometimes.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, all too much.
We'll all need a vacation when this is over.
Hey, you! I don't like your face. What are you up to? Does anyone know this man? You know this fella? Stop!
Painkillers. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Zachary's diary. This is big.
Gentlemen.
He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
How's everything?
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first? Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
What is it?
She scolded Mary for not making the bed the way she prefers it. It's so unfair. She'd just discovered Zachary's dead body and was all shook up. I tried to tell her, and do you know what she said? She said, things will change around here. I can promise you that.
And her son Patrick is just as bad.
Just relax for a minute.
And that solicitor upstairs. Why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are Mother's favorite kind of people. Can't remember ever having a family event without one tucked away in a room somewhere. Due diligence always trumped the family.
I think
Because when he can play like that, that music makes my heart soar.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach! Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? The only company he had was his rare plants and Mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger ball. He's better off dead. Is that all?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine. Had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. How do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Professor Edward Carlyle. Can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He never admitted, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff. The company he had. If that's all?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr.
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. Did I just... Excuse me? Oh, hey, you! One moment, please. Right. That's it. I'm calling security.
provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to...
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff were all the company he had. If that's all, I have a speech.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to. Bill, did you find out that the vote was notarized?
But how the hell did that happen? No, we all signed it. I gave it to him in person.
Do I know you? I don't know you.
The very same day. Right, listen. You go to their office and ask for Cheryl. She's the best they've got.
Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Of course.
Yes, Emma.
Poor old Wampy's in a bit of a snag. 16-year-old received 28 into a...
We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
Got the shit. No power, no portrait.
Oh, Madam Carlyle will be furious. It's just typical that Annie gets to help the photographer. I'm the pretty one.
But work, work, work. That's all I get from Fernsby.
Everything needs to be ready for the funeral. It needs to look good for the family.
I don't believe for a second
I feel
that
bad.
Zachary should too. We don't need this run yesterday.
Oh, fuck! I'm getting help. You just wait right there.
I'd say one.
I gave it to him in person. He says he got it notarized the very same day. Right, listen. You go to their office and ask the sheriff. She's the best they've got. Tell her you want to see the record. Don't take no for an answer. And call me as soon as you've got them.
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yeah.
Have a fun keychain on it or anything?
Oh, no. Just a regular key. Just help me look. It must have fallen out of my pocket when I was helping with the wine.
Well, I'm sure it's found.
It's just... I had a banana in there.
So many on call for a detective. These are extraordinary times. Not that I was planning to know. This isn't a game. Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
I'll never get how the rich do things. All this fuss for a pretend funeral.
And why not do a photo shoot?
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for the spring seedlings yesterday.
Yes, sure. But he was upset, believing his sister was dead.
I'd say worried about how things would be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over.
hard, aren't you?
All right there.
How old is this ship? Why do you buy that gossip rag? It's so vulgar.
How are you today, sir?
With a handsome face like that, I bet you would.
No,
Maybe we should get back to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greetings, sir.
About a month. You're American.
An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlisle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlisle Empire instead of himself. Interesting. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlisle that Zachary committed suicide. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
Could you speed up time so I don't die from boredom? I fear I may not survive an entire weekend in this shithole.
Perhaps a brisk walk in the garden would do you good.
I said speed up time, not my passing. Now just go away, will you?
Of course, sir. I'll come back later.
How very kind of you, dear Mr. Fernsby. I hope to see you soon. Creepy old git.
Patrick Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all I...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
What Emma did when she arrived. Tell me, Elaine.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick.
Wait to get her hand.
We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and, we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
Mary is so upset. And she's never seen a dead body.
Stand up, sir. You're drawing attention to yourself.
I know, Oliver, I know. We shall all miss you dearly.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
It feels like I can't breathe in there. The tension is off the charts.
bunch of old junk. Must be 100 years old at least. I don't know how the Brits can stand it.
Madam Carlyle wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the bird. They're making a racket, droppings everywhere. The undertaker wants to be gone before we see Madam Carlyle. Right at the date. But unless you want to look at the bird,
Sorry, but I think
Yeah, what you said.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
Look at me getting all giddy. It's like you can all over again.
Security detail at a staged funeral event tomorrow. That'll be a first for me.
It's just typical that Annie gets to help the photographer. I'm the
will never again meet someone like
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled, 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell me... Mr. Fernsby.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Hello.
Looking good, looking good.
This is
Hello,
Madame
sir.
Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
Your brother committed suicide.
I need to see some evidence to believe that, Mr. Whitmer.
Zachary was found dead in a room locked from the inside. He died from a rare poisonous plant he cultivated himself. He believed you were dead, and a suicide note explained that he did not have the courage to go on without you.
That's what I don't buy. I cared for him deeply, but the truth is he hated my guts. My death would not make him commit suicide, I can promise you that.
Perhaps the death of your older brother, Montgomery, then. I have found evidence showing that you and Zachary killed him nearly 50 years ago. I believe that was when Zachary turned recluse. Your brother recently uncovered proof that your past deeds were for nothing. A letter from Montgomery stating that he wanted you, Madame Carlyle, to take over from your father instead of himself, as you were better suited to the job. Everything would have turned out the way you wanted, without anyone dying. What broke Zachary once, now destroyed him.
And you saw this letter?
I did.
Oh, Zachary. How royally I fucked up. Mr. Whitmer, I'm sorry, I just need to gather my thoughts. Right. The payment for your services, have you decided on an amount?
Arthur Edwards. You have a file on him.
Arthur Edwards. How do you... I see. Well played. For many, many years I feared what I'd see when I finally met death. And now you sit before me, and I feel only peace.
You see, I believe life is a fair fight, and I lost spectacularly in every way imaginable. It is time for me to leave the pit. Oh, before I get to that, your reward. The file you want is in the safe. A last wish from a dying woman. Get Edwards and make him suffer. So long. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Please stay back.
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
How are you, sir?
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Talk to Mr. Fernsby. He's in charge.
Anyone got...
still booked. Car packed, all filled when I got the call. The wife had tears in her eyes. Don't say no to Madame Carlisle. Maybe someone should.
I doubt that's true, though. No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlisle's office was repaired last week.
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, keep it real.
Hello, sir.
They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine! Shit!
We've been compromised. Abort and walk away now.
Who?
ICA. They tracked me. Don't know how.
That's what they do. How many?
It's me. You copy? Ah, come on. I can hear you. The reception is still bad. No, I haven't seen so much as an hour.
Agent Price.
This is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Just keep trying, Agent Montgomery. Our client considers Agent 47 and Olivia Hall as a serious threat. You can't underestimate them.
I never do, Joe. We'll find them. We're all in position.
Good. Report back to me if there's anything.
Don't worry.
Hello? Yeah, it's help me. Yeah, I'm outside, but someone seems to have moved my bike, and, you know, that's where I kept our... Well, I'm sorry, but you know me. I just start talking to people, and then I just forget. Yeah, well, don't worry, I'll find them. Yeah, okay. I'll meet you inside. Yeah, bye.
Okay, on with it, I guess. Great.
I'm not sure what's it.
You can't be here. Stay put. I'm getting someone to deal with you. That sounds like trespassing. Thought you should know.
Okay, step back. I'll go and check.
Do you know anything about what's going
Dispatch.
on in the other building?
Suspect went AWOL. Stand it down.
Whatever's going on in there, none of our business. Someone tells us otherwise.
Oh, come on. You're not the slightest bit curious? You don't want to poke around here?
They don't pay me to be curious.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to work the other way around.
What I'm saying is, unless you're gonna slip me a 50 or play team detective with you, I'm not interested.
Hey, hey!
Help! Help! Please, give me...
Command! Command, you there? Hey.
Oh, no. Are you alright, man? Hello? Oh, God! Oh, my... Whoa, whoa!
We need help, please. Looks like there's a murderer out there.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Thanks.
Come on, do you read? We've got multiple bodies. Looks like it's...
Oh, geez.
God, please!
You did it all. Cover me.
We'll...
Where's the exit? Where is the exit?
Fall down. Just got coordinates on target. Combing the area.
Go, go. Don't let him slip through your fingers. No games. No cat and mouse. Just get